Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Okay, today's topic is the DL man, the man on the down low. And for those of you who don't know what this means, a down low man is a closeted gay man. Okay, now before we jump into this subject, I want to say welcome. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to all of the new viewers. Welcome to all of the new subscribers. And welcome to you who have been with me from the beginning. I appreciate you so very much. And those of you who are new to the channel, I will answer your relationship questions. So at the end of this video, I'll show you a link where you can send in your questions. And I will either answer your question on the air or I will answer it privately through the email. Okay? And those of you who are interested in these cats, they are now available in my online store. So go to the description, go to the bottom, and you see a link that says online store. Just click on it, and there you are. Okay, let's jump into this message today. Why do we have these DL men? And see, the DL concept is running rampant through the black community. It's a lot of black men out here on the DL. Again, what it means, for those of you who don't know what DL means, it means down low. Okay? And these are men who sleep with other men in secret. They don't want anybody to know. You understand? And a lot of these men are in committed relationships with a woman. Some of these men are even married to women. And they slip around and have sex with other men. Why is this phenomena happening? I'll tell you. Again, I am a spiritualist. Okay? And these things are spiritual. Men are accepting an evil spirit and do these things. And some of it is peer pressure. All right? Especially in industries like the music industry. You understand? It may be part of the initiation. And fraternities, same thing. You understand? They get initiated into this lifestyle. And then they feel like, all right, might as well keep it going. You see, men have been having sex with other men from ancient times. From ancient times. But ladies, this is still an abomination. An abomination. Men, the purpose of men is to be with women. Women are here to be partners with men. You understand? Not the man with the man, the woman with the woman. No, that is not the way that the universe has it all set up. You understand? And anything that deviates from that is an abomination. Okay? And I hope me saying that doesn't offend anyone. But as a spiritualist, I get this information from spirit. Okay? Men who have accepted this evil spirit are going out sleeping with other men. That's all it is. You understand? And they don't want anybody to know because number one, the black community really looks down on this sort of thing. So naturally they don't want other people to know. But because more and more black men are going this way, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It adds to, look at this, black women not having men. Men, you want upstanding men. You don't want these DL men. These men are feminine. You don't want these kind of men, but they appear to be masculine. Many of the men who go around looking like a thug, they're on the DL. And many of them are the bottom, which is the woman's role. You understand? The bottom. Look, ladies, wake up. Wake up. See, we get caught up in this because we want a man. We want a man no matter what. You see? And I'm going to tell you, your gut will tell you when something's wrong. You don't have to wait to see it. You understand? If your man will show you signs if he is on the DL. Now, you can decide that you don't want to see the signs. You can turn your face away from the signs and wait until it all blows up in everybody's face. Because, and I tell you the reason why it blows up. Because these men will have sex with another gay person or transgender person, and that person will tell it. That person doesn't want to be a secret, and that other person will let it be known. That's why a lot of these DL men are exposed. They're exposed by the people that they're having sex with. You see, nobody wants to be a secret. Whether you want other people to know or not, nobody wants to be a secret. But the DL man wants to keep everything secret. But it's evil. It's evil. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people in the church, a lot of men in the church who are on the DL. For some reason, this evil energy is running rampant through the church. You see? And I know if it's like when I was young, people say that's where you go to find a good man, in the church. Not today. Not today. And I get letters from ladies saying, how do you find a good man? You don't. You don't. You allow the good man to find you. Don't go out here seeking, because you're going to find trash. That's what you're going to find. Don't seek for him. You see? Your best bet is to ask the divine to send you a mate for you. Understand? The divine doesn't make mistakes. But we do. We do. Because we are attracted a lot of times by the wrong things in another person. Okay? These DL men, if they're young, they're portraying themselves as being thugs, real hard men. You understand? The real alpha men. These are the very men. These alpha men, many of them are the very ones on the DL. I heard an alpha man had the big muscles and all of this to say that 90% of black men are on the DL. That's scary. That's frightening to us. What are we supposed to do? You understand? Of course, now ladies, you can always look at the other races for men. But, all races have their issues. All races have their issues. It's just that in the black community, this DL thing has become a big issue. A big issue. Because a lot of black women prefer to have black men. But there's a very low quality or quantity of black available men. Okay? A lot of them are in prison or jail. You understand? The others don't have anything, don't work, don't want anything. And then you have the DL ones. You see? Now the DL man, he may be ambitious. He may have all the trappings that you are interested in and all that. But every now and then, he likes to have sex with a man. I wouldn't want a man like that. I don't care what he had. Personally, I wouldn't want him. I would find it very difficult to get over that. Very difficult to get over that, because he can stop if he wants to. It's free will that he started. He wasn't born that way. It's free will. So he actually could stop if he wanted to and change his life around. But the DL man is in secret because he doesn't want to stop. He has no motivation to stop, as long as he's not caught at it. You understand? And this shows the maturity of these men. You'd rather live your life slipping and sliding around in the dark, doing these things behind your woman's back? Why? Why? I'll tell you why. Because these same men need a woman to do what a woman does. Take care of the home, take care of the children, have things ready whenever they come home. That's why they marry. You understand? They need the woman, but they prefer having sex with men. That's the DL man. And ladies, you need to recognize it. You need to recognize him. That's why I say take your time with these people, and it'll come out. If you take your time with him, watch his mannerisms and watch when he's around his other boys. You need to see him around his other boys, because if he is having sex with any of them, somebody's going to spill it. Somebody is going to show it in some way or fashion. That's right. Because when I was with my DL man, his friends showed it. During that time, I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe it. But the divine kept showing it to me. You understand? Kept showing it to me in my face until I could not deny it any longer. And I did. I approached him and I told him that I knew what he was doing. Now, of course, these men are never going to admit it. They're never going to admit it. But I'll tell you one thing that he said that was a confirmation. He said to me, now, he gave me a scenario. Okay? Now, suppose, he says, now suppose you're somewhere and the opportunity presents itself. And you take the opportunity, which means that, let me break this down. This is what he's saying. If you are in the company of another man and the other man presents his body to you and you take it, you take advantage of that, does that make you gay? I told him, yes, it does. It does. Because you acted on that urge. You acted on it. So yeah. And if you continue to act on it, yes, you are gay. That's the definition of gay. You understand? These people have all kind of reasons why they're not gay. And they don't consider themselves as being gay. You see, this is the thing. DL men do not consider themselves as being gay. Many of them claim to be heterosexual. You see? If you are heterosexual, why are you having sex with men? That's my question. Who are you trying to fool? You can't have one foot in and one foot out. You either one or the other. One or the other. Okay? Ladies, protect yourself from this. Protect yourself. You see? A lot of us don't want to know. You know, there's a thing out here that says, ignorance is bliss. It's bliss until he brings a disease home that nobody can cure. You understand? Then your ignorance is not so blissful then. Ladies, watch out. Watch out for these men. You understand? Watch out. And I'm saying that this runs rampant in the black community, but that's not saying that in other cultures, you know, Hispanics, they have DL men. You understand? And now I find that in the Caucasian community, most of those men will just come out and say they're gay. You know, why bother? They'll just say they're gay. But in the black and brown communities, we want to do the DL. Okay, now this message was inspired by some letters that came in. So let's read some of these letters and see what's going on. Okay, here we go. Now the first letter is husband on the down low. Husband on the down low. This is a young lady. I have seen the signs that my husband of 15 years is having sex with men. Now that can be heartbreaking for a woman to find this out. You understand? It's something difficult for you to grapple with. Get your head around that your husband that you love is out here slipping and sliding with other men. Okay? I brought it to his attention and he cried and cursed me out. Yeah, he did. Because you found him out. You found him out. If it wasn't true, he would have just said, you crazy. It's not true. Where do you get this from? And he would have been about trying to prove to you that you were mistaken about him. But for him to cry and lash out, sounds like to me you hit it right on the head. He says, I would never cheat on you. I love you. I've seen signs at least 3 times, but it's probably more. I would never trust him again. That's all I think about when we're having sex. But I'm still here. I don't want to be alone and start over. I don't want to leave my home. Maybe I'm wrong. Then it would really hurt him. Also, I'll have to answer questions from my family and friends who think we have a loving relationship. This is such a hard decision. I don't know what to do. What are your thoughts? Okay, here we go. Now, you have been with your husband for 15 years. Okay, has he been good to you otherwise? Has he treated you with respect? Is he a good provider? Do you have a happy life otherwise? If you do, you may want to just stay. Okay? I'm not going to encourage you to leave an otherwise good situation. Okay? You might want him to, wear protection if you suspect, since you suspect that he's sleeping with other men. You see? It would be better if he just came out and told you and tell you that he's using protection. You understand? But these men never going to tell you. They never going to admit it. But if your man is treating you well, you're happy, you have a happy home, He's a good provider, and there's no other issues with him except you think, or even if you know that he is sleeping with other men. You have free will. You have free will. And it's been 15 years, and you really don't want to leave your family or your husband or your home, then I say stay. Stay. But try to guard yourself as much as you can. Okay? But don't think he's going to stop. Some men, if he's just started this activity, and now that he knows that you suspect him, he may stop. He may. You understand? If he's got some good still in him, he may say, I don't want to live this anymore. I don't want my wife to be thinking I'm doing this kind of thing. He may just cut it off and stop. Because there are some men who have decided they don't want to live this lifestyle, and they cut it off. Because again, I'm telling you, they were not born this way. This was a choice. This was a choice. So, with you understand? Continue to communicate with him without making him angry, but don't make him feel like you believe his story that he didn't do it. Don't make him believe it. If your gut feeling is telling you that he's done it, he's done it. Okay? And if he continues to do it, your gut will tell you that too. You can trust your intuition on that. You understand? So, that's my advice on that. If he is a good man in other regard, and your life is good, he's a good provider, you don't have any other complaints, then stay. But if he's no good and he's sleeping with men, no. Kick him to the curb. That's what I say. Okay? I hope that you understand, and I hope that this helps. So now let's look at another letter. Okay? Okay. This one it's a short letter, and it's entitled Husband Material. What characteristics should a woman look for when intentionally seeking a man to marry? Okay. Number one, ladies, do not seek men to marry. You have a desire to marry, but you're not going out here looking and seeking and hunting for anybody. No. That's not the way. The way is to ask the divine for what you desire. But don't just throw it out there that you want a man, because a man will come. But it may not be the man for you that meets your standards, your qualifications. You understand? You want a man that meets your standards. So that's what you need to ask for. You ask the divine, you believe, and you let it go. And when you least expect it, the man will appear. You understand? This is showing true faith. True faith that your desires will be met. Okay? But you don't go out here seeking. The more that you seek and hunt and look, you'll never find him. You're pushing your blessing away from you because you're not believing. You're not believing that the right one is going to come for you. And many times we don't believe it because we're desperate. You understand? We want him right now. We want him yesterday because we don't feel complete within ourselves. Ladies, that's why you want to love yourself. You want to work on yourself. You want to know your worth. You want to know your value. And if you're out here hunting for men to marry, then you don't know your value. The men are to hunt and look for you. You should concentrate on being the very best version of yourself. You understand? And believe that he will appear to you. Okay? Don't seek men. Don't chase them. Don't text them. Don't look for them. Nothing. And they will come to you. Listen, I'm telling you, ladies, and even at my age, men approach me practically every day. Every day. You want to be in a position where you can pick and choose who you want. You understand? But if you're in your highest vibration all the time, men are drawn to that. They are drawn to your high vibration. And this is how you meet them. You understand? But you need to raise your vibrations. And in the description, I will put a link where you can start to do that. How you can start your spiritual awakening that will raise your vibrations and help you to manifest your desires. Okay, ladies? All right. I hope you understand that. Don't look for him. Don't chase him. And the characteristics that you want in a man are individual desires. What I desire in a man is not a one-size-fit-all. It's what you desire in your man and what she desires in her man. Everybody doesn't have the same desires. So I can't tell you what characteristics to look for. You look for the characteristics that meet your standards. You understand? Everybody has their own. And the perfect man for you should meet those standards. It's an individual thing. You understand? It's individual. So I hope that helps you. And I hope you understand. Now let's look at another letter here. Okay. Now this one is a little off target, but off topic, but it's about engagement rings. Okay. This is it. Hi, Miss Faye. Can you please talk to women young and old about not buying their own engagement rings? Wow. I didn't know, ladies, you were out here doing that kind of thing. I suspected that it was happening, but I really didn't know that it was a fact that it's happening. So let's see what you're saying in this letter. And this includes opening a jewelry account in both their names, with the woman as the main account holder, because the man has no credit. Why would you want to marry a man who can't even afford to buy you a decent engagement ring? That tells you right there he can't afford you. He can't provide for you. So you don't need to be engaged to a man like this. Period. Period. Point blank. Okay. If a man cannot buy a ring on his own, this is a sure sign that a woman will be footing the bill for the rest of their lives. It sure is. It sure is. Either skip the ring altogether and save money for future plans, like a house, traveling, education, etc. Or allow him to save up for it if it's that important. Well, yeah, it's important because it's an issue. That's why it's important, because he can't afford it. Now, if the man is just out of college, he just, you and him, you're just out of college, and he wants to be engaged. He may not be able to afford a ring, the ring, but he can afford a ring. If he cannot afford a ring, it may not be the big diamond, but a ring, well then, maybe you need to think about it. Maybe you need to think about it. Now, it's according, if I were you, I would wait until he got a stable position. Because just because a man is in college and graduate from college doesn't mean that he's going to have a successful future. It's a lot of people that went to college. They can hardly pay their rent today. It's a lot of college people out of work today. So that doesn't mean anything. You understand? You want a man who's already stable, already making money, that he can afford to buy a ring on his own for you. If you can't, it's not the right time. Okay? Now, another thing you said in here, maybe you want to skip the ring altogether and save money for future plans. Well, yeah, if you're both, on your way to work or whatever you're going to do, and you decide you're together, you understand? You're on the same page. Your goals for the future, maybe you just want to skip the ring and have the ring later. I've seen couples do that. And then later when a man can afford it, then he buys a very nice ring. Okay, but you come to an understanding with that. But if you are thinking to be engaged with a man who has no future, and you can tell, you should be able to look at him and tell. I mean, if he's got some little lowly job that's less than what you got, you see, and he can afford a ring, he's not the man for you. He's not the man for you. Women spend way too much energy on wanting to show off a ring, only to find out she purchased it herself. That's true. That's true. I've seen women that have very nice rings and they purchase it themselves because the man can't afford it. And I'm going to tell you, many of those marriages have not worked from my experience. Now, I'm sure there are some of those marriages that work out fine, where the woman bought her own ring or whatever. But it's been in my experience that the women, just like you said in the letter, the women have to take care of the man because they never really live up to promise. Okay? All right, let's say here. This is especially true for lots of professional women who have nice jobs but decide to date, marry bums. Well, again, that's free will and free choice. And I at one time, I was a wedding photographer, and I did take photographs of some couples where you can tell there was, she's a professional and he's not. You understand? And you can see that it may not work. And many times, I'm going to tell you something. Many times, by the time it came to deliver the photos and all of that, the marriage already broke up. Of course, I mean, it's a tricky business. You understand? Marry up, ladies. Don't marry down. Even if you are a professional woman and you're making beaucoup money, it's better to be alone than marry down. I'm going to tell you. To be alone is better than to marry down. Find your happiness within yourself. Now, if a man approaches you that is perfect for you, which means he has what you have or better, and you really care for the man and he really cares for you, perfect. But don't settle, ladies, just because you are professional and men that you desire may be scarce. You see how I put that? the men that you desire may be scarce, then you feel like you're going to settle. Don't do it. You don't want to spend your life taking care of men. And in many cases where the women are taking care of men, they're cheating on them with other women and other men. You understand? You don't want to be caught up in that. Not at all. Ladies, take care of yourself and love yourself. This is so important. You see? And a lot of this happens because you don't really love yourself. You're willing to settle and take whatever a man wants to dish out to you. You see? Just like women who stay with men who cheat on them. Now, I understand, that if your life is good otherwise and all, your man is cheating on you, he is disrespecting you in that way. But other than that, your life is good. You don't want to leave. You have free will. You stay right there. And I wish you the best in a situation like that. But I also want you to know there's power in being alone. There's power. And it also shows the man that you can be very well without them. I'm not talking about, I don't want you to think that I am talking against relationships, partnerships, or marriage. I'm not talking against that, because these can be wonderful things if you are with the right person. That's the key, being with the right person. And I believe to get the right person into your life, you need to ask the divine to bring him to you. Unless your perfect mate has not already come to you, then you ask the divine to bring him to you. Ladies, I hope that you understand, and I hope this message helps someone. And those of you who have questions that you would like for me to answer, here is the link. Send your questions to MissFaye'sWorld@hotmail.com. That's MissFaye'sWorld@hotmail.com. And try to keep your letters to one page. Just summarize the situation and ask the question. All right? And those of you who would prefer that I answer your question through the email, just put it right at the top of the letter and I will comply. I want to thank you all for supporting this channel. I want to thank you all for your comments and for your letters. And a special thank you for those that leave a donation. I appreciate you all. I love you all. And I hope to see you next time.